I spent 2 days in Tallinn, Estonia after a week in Finland, and it was the perfect short trip to a new country. And the best part is that it's so much more affordable than Finland, so still my itinerary. The best way to get to Tallinn from Helsinki is by ferry. Several companies offer trips on this route, and the ride is just about 2 hours. Once I arrived in Tallinn, I checked into the Nunne boutique hotel, which was perfectly located just steps from Old Town. I immediately set out to explore, and day one was all about culture and museums. I started the day in Rotermann Quarter, the official center point of Tallinn. Formerly an industrial area, the quarter is now filled with shops, cafes, restaurants, and my favorite, museums. I had lunch at Nomade Resto right in the quarter and then grabbed the Tallinn Card, which gets you into over 50 attractions, and went on a museum marathon. My first stop was the Museum of Estonian Architecture because architecture museums are a must whenever I travel. Then I headed to the Pop Art Museum, which was full of pop culture art pieces that I thoroughly enjoyed. I ended the day at Kumu Art Museum, Estonia's largest art museum. This massive building was built into a limestone cliff with everything from 18th century Estonian art to contemporary pieces that tell the story of Estonia from the Soviet era and beyond. Day two started at Telliskivi Creative City, Tallinn's creative hub, in a converted industrial complex. There's street art everywhere, vintage shops, design studios, and the coolest coffee shops. I headed into Fotografiska to check out the photography exhibitions on display that were all amazing and honestly made me miss the Fotografiska that had recently closed in New York City. The afternoon was dedicated to a walking tour of Old Town, and this is where Tallinn really shines. Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that dates back to the 13th century, and it's one of the best preserved medieval towns in Europe. I'm talking cobblestone streets, hidden courtyards, Gothic spires, and city walls that are still standing. We climbed up Tumpi Hill for panoramic views of Old Town and wandered through passages that made me feel like I'd stepped back in time, and every corner was photo-worthy. I ended day two at the Christmas market in Town Hall Square with lights illuminating the medieval architecture and stalls filled with toys, gingerbread houses, mulled wine, and hot chocolate, which definitely filled me with the holiday spirit. For me, 2 days was the perfect amount of time to see the highlights without feeling rushed, and now I completely understand why people say Tallinn is the best add-on to any Finland trip. So if you're planning a trip to Nordic countries, save this for later and follow for more travel inspo.